My name is Maya. I'm 27 years old, and 10 minutes ago, I decided I would rather die on the side of Interstate 40 than spend one more second in my own house. The heat is suffocating. It's 90 degrees. The humidity is clinging to my skin like a wet wool blanket, and my 2-year-old son, Leo, is screaming against my chest in his carrier. 18-wheelers are screaming past us, mere inches away, and the wind from their trailers nearly knocks me into the ditch every time. I'm terrified, I'm dehydrated, but I keep putting one foot in front of the other. Then I hear it. The distinct, heavy rumble of a diesel engine. A silver pickup truck swerves onto the gravel shoulder, kicking up dust, blocking my path. I flinch, clutching Leo tighter, but it's not a stranger. The door flies open and a man steps out wearing worn-out work boots and jeans, his face pale beneath a baseball cap. It's my father, Frank. He doesn't run to me. He stops dead, looking at the empty stretch of highway behind me, then at my blistered feet in flimsy sandals. "Maya," he barks, his voice cracking over the roar of traffic. "Where the hell is your SUV?" I look him in the eye, the man who served 20 years as a sheriff before retiring, and I finally say the words I've been choking on for 2 years. "Liam took my keys, Dad. He says I'm medically unfit to operate machinery." Welcome back to Epic Reddit Files. If you've ever felt trapped in a situation you couldn't explain to anyone else, this story is for you. Before we dive into the nightmare I just escaped, drop a comment below and let me know where you are listening from and what your gut feeling is telling you about this husband already. Let's get the discussion going. The silence inside my father's truck was heavy. It wasn't a peaceful silence. It was the kind of silence that happens before a bomb goes off. The air conditioning was blasting, drying the sweat on my forehead, but I was shivering. Leo had passed out in the back seat, exhausted from the heat. I looked at my hands, and they were trembling so violently I had to tuck them under my legs. "How long?" my father asked. He didn't look at me. His knuckles were white on the steering wheel, his eyes scanning the road with that predator-like focus I remembered from his patrol days. 8 months, I whispered, since Leo started walking. He took a sharp breath through his nose and asked why I didn't call him, why I didn't tell him he was taking my vehicle. I told him the truth. Because it didn't look like abuse, Dad. That's how they get you. I looked out the window at the blurring trees, needing him to understand. Liam didn't hit me. He didn't scream. He optimized me. It started with a smoothie. It started with his mother, Eleanor, coming over and saying, "Oh, honey, you look so drained. Let me handle the cooking. You just rest." And I was tired, so I let her. Then it was Liam saying, "Maya, you're so stressed about the bills. I'm a disturbingly good wealth manager. Let me automate everything so you can just focus on being a mom." And I was stressed, so I thanked him. I turned to my father and said, "It's not the boiling frog, Dad. Everyone knows that story. It's the spider web. You don't know you're stuck until you try to move a distinct muscle and realize you're bound tight." The heat turned up so slowly, I thought it was summer. First, Eleanor moved into the in-law suite to help with the baby. Then, she was reorganizing my pantry because my choices were chemically unsafe. Then, she was intercepting my mail. When I complained, Liam told me I was suffering from postpartum rage. My father's jaw muscle jumped as he asked if a psychiatrist diagnosed that. "No," I said. Liam did. He printed out an article from a blog and highlighted the symptoms he said I had. Every time I asked why our joint savings account password was changed, he said I was being paranoid. Every time I asked why Eleanor had a key to our bedroom, he said I was being ungrateful for the help. Last week, I tried to drive to the pediatrician. My keys were gone from the hook. Liam said he hid them because I've been brain foggy lately. He said he was protecting the community from my driving. I looked down at my lap. "They check my phone, Dad. Liam installed a family safety app. He says it's to track Leo in case of emergencies, but he reads my texts. He tracks my location. I stopped visiting you because I knew if I went off route, I'd have to explain myself for 3 hours." My father pulled the truck onto the shoulder again, miles from the house. He threw the gear shift into park with a violent clunk. He turned to me, and the anger in his eyes wasn't directed at me. It was a cold, calculated rage. "That isn't protection, Maya," he said, his voice low and terrifyingly steady. "That is a siege. They isolated you. They disarmed you. And now they are holding you hostage in a house you pay the mortgage on. We are going back." My heart hammered against my ribs, and I begged him not to. I couldn't face them. Liam is so smart, I knew he'd twist it. But my dad shifted the truck back into drive and said, "We aren't going back to debate. We are going back to extract your assets. You are leaving that house today, and you are never walking on the shoulder of a highway again unless your car breaks down." The tires crunched on the pristine white gravel of my driveway. My father's battered work truck looked like a scar against the manicured lawn and the aggressively beige mansion Liam insisted we buy. The house was silent, a fortress of stucco and wrought iron. Through the windshield, I saw them. Liam and Eleanor were on the front porch. Eleanor was arranging flowers in a vase, and Liam was typing on his laptop, a glass of iced tea sweating beside him. They looked peaceful. They looked like people who hadn't just forced a mother and child to flee on foot in a heat wave. "Stay in the truck," my father said. I said no. I unbuckled Leo. The fear was still there, but something else was rising up to meet it. Rage. I wasn't hiding anymore. I followed my father up the slate walkway. Eleanor spotted us first. Her smile didn't drop. It just turned into a thin, tight line. "Well, look who decided to return from her walk," she called out, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. And she brought a guest. "Frank, you're just in time for tea." My father walked up the steps, his boots heavy on the wood. He didn't look at this tea. He looked at Liam and asked, "Where are her keys?" Frank's voice was the deep rumble he used to use when breaking up bar fights, the kind of voice that makes the air pressure drop. Liam stood up, closing his laptop slowly. He adjusted his glasses, looking bored. "Frank, let's not be dramatic," he said. "Maya was having an episode. She stormed off. We took the keys for her own safety. You know how hormonal shifts can affect reaction times. The casual misogyny, the practiced concern. It made my blood boil." I stepped out from behind my father. "I'm not having an episode, Liam," I said. "I'm moving out." Eleanor let out a sharp, incredulous laugh. "Moving out? To where, Maya? You don't have a job. You don't have a vehicle. You barely have the capacity to load the dishwasher correctly. We are protecting you. We are holding this family together because you are clearly incapable." My father stepped between us. He didn't shout. He just loomed. "You aren't protecting her," he said. "You are stealing from her." "Give me the keys." "No," Liam said, crossing his arms. He tried to look imposing, but against my father, he just looked like a petulant child in a polo shirt. "Or what, Frank? You going to arrest me? You don't have a badge anymore. This is my property. She is my wife. If she leaves with the clothes on her back. But she is not taking my son." The air in the yard changed. My father took one step closer to Liam. He was in his personal space now. "You want to talk about the law, Liam? Let's talk about the law. You are withholding personal property. You are restricting movement. And if you try to physically stop her from leaving with her child, that is unlawful restraint. That's a felony. Do you want me to call my old buddies at the precinct? They'd love to come see why a grown man is hiding his wife's car keys." Eleanor scoffed and called me hysterical. My father turned to me and said, "Maya, go inside, get your documents, get the baby's things. I'll stand right here." I ran past Liam. I saw him reach out a hand to grab my arm, but my father shifted his weight, blocking him. I heard Eleanor shrieking something about trespassing, but I was already inside. The house felt different now. It felt cold, alien. It wasn't a home, it was a crime scene. I ran upstairs to the master bedroom. My hands were shaking, but my mind was surprisingly clear. I didn't grab clothes. I grabbed the black binder I had hidden under the loose floorboard in the closet, the one place Eleanor never cleaned because she was afraid of spiders. I grabbed Leo's birth certificate, my social security card, and then I opened the safe. Liam thought I didn't know the combination, but I'd watched him type it in from the reflection in the window 3 months ago. I grabbed the jewelry my grandmother left me. I ran back into the hallway. My father was standing at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at me. He wasn't looking at the door. He was watching my back. I told him I got it. He asked softly if I got the evidence. I froze. He knew. "I saw the way you looked at him at Christmas," Dad said, his voice rough. "I saw you flinch when he moved too fast. I knew something was wrong, Maya, but I didn't want to overstep. I thought I was respecting your marriage. I was wrong. I was leaving you behind enemy lines without a radio. I am so sorry." I told him it was okay and that I had the ammunition now. We walked out the front door. Liam was on the phone, pacing the yard. Eleanor was standing by the gate, arms crossed. "I'm calling the police," Eleanor shouted. "This is kidnapping. You cannot take that child." My father didn't even slow down. He walked past her like she was a ghost. "Go ahead, Eleanor," he said. "Call them. Tell them you're holding a mother and child against their will. See who ends up in cuffs." We got in the truck. As we pulled away, I watched them in the side mirror. They looked smaller now. Just two angry people standing in a gravel driveway. The drive to my dad's house was quiet, but it was a safe quiet. When we got to his kitchen table, I dumped the black binder out. "We need to check everything," I said. "My gut tells me the keys were just the tip of the iceberg." My father put on his reading glasses. We spread the papers out. I had managed to snap photos of documents Liam left on his desk over the last 6 months. It took 10 minutes to realize the extent of the damage. "Maya," Dad said, his voice deadly calm. He was holding a bill of sale. "Your SUV. The one he said he was keeping safe? Yeah? He sold it," Dad said. 3 weeks ago. To a private buyer in the next state. He forged your signature on the title. The room spun. He sold my car for $12,000 cash. Dad pushed another paper toward me and told me to look where the money went. It was a bank transfer receipt. The money hadn't gone into our savings. It had gone to a credit card account. "That's Eleanor's card," I whispered. I recognized the last 4 digits from when I used to order her groceries. "They sold your car to pay off his mother's credit card debt," Dad said. But that wasn't the worst of it. I opened the banking app on my phone, which I had finally unlocked using the recovery codes I found in Liam's desk. "Dad," I said, my voice shaking, "look at this loan. There was a business loan taken out in my name, $50,000. The business listed was a consulting firm registered to Eleanor. I never signed this," I said, panic rising in my throat. "Dad, that's fraud. That's $50,000 of debt." "He took a loan out in your name," Dad said, staring at the screen. "He ruined your credit so you couldn't rent an apartment. He sold your car so you couldn't drive away. And he gaslit you into thinking you were crazy so you wouldn't check the books." My father stood up. He walked to the landline on the wall and dialed a number. I asked who he was calling. "The district attorney," he said. "I used to play poker with him." "This isn't a domestic dispute anymore, Maya. This is felony fraud, identity theft, and grand larceny." 3 days later, I sat in a lawyer's office with my father. We presented the binder, the forged signatures on the title, the loan documents traced to Eleanor's account, the text messages I had downloaded where they discussed keeping Maya confused. We sent a digital copy to Liam with a simple message: "Settlement or prison. You have 24 hours. They didn't fight. They couldn't. The evidence was overwhelming. Liam agreed to assume the full debt of the loan. He agreed to pay back the value of the car immediately. And most importantly, he signed full physical custody of Leo over to me to avoid a criminal fraud trial. I live in a small apartment now. It's not a mansion. The furniture is mismatched, and I drive a used sedan my dad helped me fix up. But the keys are in my pocket. The bank account has my name on it. Sometimes, abuse doesn't look like a bruised eye. Sometimes it looks like a concerned husband holding your keys, telling you that you're just too tired to understand the finances. If you are listening to this and you feel like you're the frog in the boiling water, jump. Jump before they put the lid on. That was a submission from one of our community members, Maya. What an incredible escape. It's terrifying how easily concern can mask control. Guys, if you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want more stories from the epic Reddit files, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Question for the comments. Do you think Maya should have pressed charges and sent them to jail, or was getting full custody the better win? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm signing off. Stay safe, check your bank statements, and I'll see you in the next one.